This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook live show. It is Friday, Emirates Cup Friday. Grande was on your playbook. We have a game with a 250 total on the main slate here today. Excited to have you all in here with us at the end of the week. Appreciate all the support you guys have given us all season long. If you want to help us out even more, you can hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Free way to support the show. As you guys know, each and every day, our goal is to get to 100 likes. I'll probably repeat that throughout the show, as currently there's only a couple of you in here, but we'll make sure that we get you guys ready to win some money here tonight, Grande.
Win some money indeed. It is an Emirates NBA Cup Friday. It is important. There are, on the main slate on DraftKings, there are 5 teams that are either can clinch or eliminated from NBA Cup action. 5. So 5 of the 14 on the DraftKings slate could be either clinched or be eliminated. So there's a lot to play for with every team currently still technically in the mix. Like I was talking to you before, there's some teams that are basically not like alive, and there's some games that don't matter as much. But yeah, there's still a lot to play for in the cup. And teams have obviously taken it serious, as we've seen. So we saw what the minutes looked like last year. We've seen the minutes ramp up in the NBA Cup. So I'm excited to talk about it, talk about the scenarios, talk about the 7-game main slate we have. And if you have any FanDuel questions, ask that one as well. And I just want to get to Matt. Matt, welcome. This is a basketball show, so welcome. But this sport that we are talking about has a round orange ball. And that one you talk about is poop brown. So, orange is better than brown, especially when the color it's poop brown. I mean, football.
If I had to say, I'd go Kyron Williams and probably Quinshon Judkins against the Raiders this week.
It's exactly my 2 picks. Totally.
That's where I would go this week.
Me
Here.
too.
Hit that thumbs up button. Get the show to 100 likes. Matt, no problems. Hang for the NBA content, though, Matt. For real.
Yeah. Also, can you bring Anthony's comment up? I laughed at Anthony's comment.
40-point triple-double from Scotty Barnes.
And Wizards belt to ass, which is hilarious.
40-point triple-double would be insane. I will say one of my prompts I wrote up today over for the pick'em sites there, I did Jakob Poeltl over 10.5 rebounds, and a number he has not achieved this season. He has not had more than 10 rebounds in a game this year. But there's no worse rebounding team in the NBA than the
We will talk about a lot of fantasy goodness on the Toronto Raptors side, John.
We certainly will here today. So, guys, we do appreciate all that support. Keep the comments coming. Shot like Harden giving us a little cheers. Playing one lotto ticket in the Millie tonight. Good luck. We'll get you set up there, Vic. Good evening to Jeff. Nate says, let's go. Let's go to you. Warren always popping in. Justin always popping in. Appreciate all the support. Anthony, as we said, Matt's always welcome to hang around if he wants to. What do we got here? Michael looking for the Trailblazers play on FanDuel. No Drew Holiday tonight. Shade Sharp ruled out too already? So run that one back that you had the other day. Just play Klingon.
We're not just going to say play Klingon and move on. There's a lot of viable options over there.
We'll talk it. Well, we won't. We will. Maybe we'll get it.
We'll do it right now. We'll just talk. For you. I lost the name for you. Michael. Was it Michael?
Yeah, right there.
Thank you. I'm looking. Everyone's numbers are showing up here, John. I don't know if it's you're saying it. It's throwing me off. So
I am. Yeah. Usually we just see the first name. Now we're getting like the full
government. Your socials are attached. Yeah. Not actually. Don't leave, please. Denny Avdia is the first answer. 1.6 fantasy points per minute. 35% usage rate. I wrote this in the Fantasy Alarm Playbook. You can find only 4 minutes. We're making progress, honestly. Special Master of Documentation 5431. And 35% usage, I'll round up 1.7. Jeremy Grant, 6% usage bump without Sharp and Holiday. 29% usage, 1.3 fantasy points per minute. And the aforementioned Klingon, 17%, 1.4 minutes, or 1.4. I think there's some merit to going Caleb Love's route. I think like low floor because he missed all of his shots the other day, but the role was pretty good. He only played 20 minutes. They did play a lot of Chris Murray. He's kind of a zero. They did play, City Sissoko started. I don't think you need to go there. So it's really just the Avdia, Grant, Klingon, maybe a sprinkle of Caleb Love if you're playing a bunch of large field stuff.
All right. So that's our one FanDuel question of the day. Jokic is at 13-2. We wondered, were we going to get to him? Currently the field is not, which means Grande might be. 5% Nikola Jokic on tonight's slate, dear Grande.
I know. We'll talk about it, but we'll talk about it.
Giddey is 95 at the point guard position. Booker, 94. We'll talk Mitchell at shooting guard. Murray is at 85. You talked a little bit about being concerned about Giddey with Kobe White back. Giddey's usage rate last game was 19%.
Yes, it was.
Not great. Did have 13 assists. He's had 13 assists in both games that White has been in. White obviously has scored a lot of points in those two games, but you want to see a little bit more of the offense out of Josh Giddey when it comes to scoring the basketball if he's going to be $9,500 here.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because they haven't shared the floor obviously a lot. 27 minutes him and Josh Giddey have played together through the two games. His fantasy points per minute have gone up during the time that they've shared the floor. The usage rate has obviously taken a hit. His assist rate, John, if you could believe this, has gone up in the 27 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
His rebound rate has gone up playing with Kobe White. He just had a low usage rate last game where he just didn't shoot. I am a lot more bullish on Josh Giddey than I was last night.
I like to hear that.
Despite the Kobe White impending status.
I got the over 9.5 assists tonight for Josh Giddey.
Yeah, I am. Look, it's a 250 implied point total. Both of these teams are in Group C of the NBA Cup. Both of them are 1-1. A loss, you're basically dead to rights, right? You're not officially eliminated. The Pacers, Nets, Mavericks, Pelicans are the teams that are eliminated with a loss. So you're not eliminated, but you need a miracle basically at that point. The Bulls, the Heat have the better differential currently. So it's a must-win game. Giddey's going to play 40 minutes potentially in this game. So, 1.6 fantasy points per minute with Kobe White. It's a really, really good spot. Like you said, I get the 19% usage is a little bit concerning. This is something, and let me also paint it this way. Miami, surprisingly, is bottom 10 in points in the paint allowed this year. Josh Giddey's top 5 in drives amongst all players in the NBA, drives per game. So I think that this is a really good spot. I do think we get the Giddey scoring up, and plus all the peripherals are there. Obviously, live as anyone for a triple-double on the, amongst anyone on the main slate.
I agree. Booker, again, as I said, is 94. Murray, 85. If you were looking to spend up at the point guard position tonight, Where are you potentially looking to go here today?
It's Giddy for me 1.
Sure.
We'll save Donnie, obviously. I like Booker in tournaments. Minnesota's been better defensively, but we don't know the status of Jaden McDaniels. That obviously matters quite a bit. So we'll see. McDaniels is obviously drawing the Booker assignment if he plays. I have essentially no interest in Murray. The one thing I'd say on like the Murray in the Murray case would be that he's going to play 40 minutes because it's a cup game. That their whole group, the Denver Houston group, is 1-1, all 5 teams, and also their group: Denver, Houston, San Antonio, Portland, Golden State. I mean, it's a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
All 5 teams being 1-1 is not surprising. So obviously, winner of this group takes a big leap forward to potentially clinching a spot. So I don't love Murray here, but he's going to play 40 minutes.
Okay. Next tier down, I mean, from an ownership perspective, again, it's quickly getting around 18%. Giddy is getting ownership around 17%, and then it kind of drops off. You said we're going to talk a lot of Tron to goodness. Let's just start here.
Yeah, I think this is a really good spot for Emmanuel Quickly, especially, everywhere. But, he is their most reliable three-point shooter. I know Scotty Barnes has gotten, he's taken a leap three-point percentage this year. But Quickly is clearly their best three-point shooter. Washington allows the 5th most made threes per game and the 7th highest three-point field goal percentage, which means we're just going to get, probably Quickly getting around his 7, 8, 9 threes that he's been getting up basically every game with a ceiling type potential because, there's a reason why you're allowing that many makes and that many opportunities. Like people are just open. So I think Quickly can hang his hat from 3 tonight. Obviously, points in the paint are bad for Washington. They can't rebound. Quickly's a good rebounding guard. It's everything you want. Pace up spot, bottom 2 defense in the NBA. Like, there's just nothing bad to say about Quickly. I'd even go as far as to say, like, the Washington only good defender, Bilal Coulibaly, is going to be guarding Brandon Ingram, and if I had to guess. Like, he Quickly doesn't even have to worry about that factor. So it's really as good as it gets for Quickly. Yeah, you could talk me into basically anything Toronto today. Sure. John, they clinch their group with a win tonight.
Good matchup to do it. All right, McCollum was your next guy at 58. What are your thoughts as we sort of work our way down into this mid-range?
I think that this position is not overly appealing. Okay. After Emmanuel Quickly, I think that there's guys you can get to. Like, I don't mind CJ McCollum. Washington obviously needs to win to stay alive. I don't think they're really worried about that all too much. They're just worried about competitive games at this point. CJ has been a high usage player. He's a very high usage player without Alex Sarr. We don't have the Alex Sarr status yet. So I'd be more willing to go to some more Washington if Alex Sarr were to sit. But if Alex Sarr is on the floor, how competitive is that game, right? Sure. So that's fine. You could play Gillespie in tournaments. We know he's had a really high ceiling. Brandon Williams is a little bit interesting, but only if D'Angelo Russell sits. We don't know what the Brandon Williams minutes look like on a night to night, but I'd feel much more confident if D'Lo ends up sitting with the midday downgrade. The Dante DiVincenzo ownership, I think, is a little bit interesting to me. I was looking at Phoenix does not allow any made threes. Like, they don't allow 3-point shots at all. They're one of the best defenses in general. They don't allow makes. They don't allow a lot of threes. DiVincenzo, just look at his volume. It is all 3-point volume. Like, that is solely what it is. So, I think it's fine. I think obviously without Jaden, there's a higher minute ceiling. But I'm probably a little less bullish than the field. I know nobody really knows what to do at point guard tonight. There's no one particular answer. There's
it's pretty spread out. Again, the top as of right now, the top 4 guys are all like around between 14 to 17%. Quickly, DDV, Giddey, McCollum, Drew Smith is getting ownership tonight because Miami is missing plays. He's $3,600. As sort of like an outright punt play. Fears Shed is hanging around 10% as well. It's just kind of sort of another like outright punt play tonight at the position, but there's not a lot of like definitive ownership here.
Yeah, I think the thing about Drew Smith specifically is that like he just hasn't overlapped with Davion. And if you look at the minutes last game, it was Davion had foul trouble the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
It's really as simple as that. Drew Smith, look at all the other games he's played. There's just not minutes. There's minutes when Davion's been in foul trouble. That's just what they split the time. So this isn't necessarily my favorite punt. Like you can get there because it's 250 implied points, but like there's no guarantee that he's playing any extra minutes just because other guys are out. It's at other positions that other guys. He has never been anything other than the backup point guard. And in a cup game where minutes are already elevated, I'm skeptical that Drew Smith is going to be extended. And if he gets 18 minutes, then sure, he's like a fine fantasy point per minute guy. It's not like necessarily my favorite play. We did skip over Derek White. That would probably be the other guy that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
This game, like Boston has to blow the doors off of Brooklyn in order to get themselves back into the cup discussion. They have a negative 12 point differential. There are already 4 teams in the East that are 2-0. So it's very hard for them to, they have to go crazy. It's a great spot for 3-point shooters. Brooklyn's 29th in 3-point field goal percentage against. They're 30th in defense in general. The usage has been trending in the right direction for Derek White. He had a monster usage rate in this game against Brooklyn, 23.5% in 4 of his last 5 overall. So, same thing can be said for Derek White that we've kind of said all year. He just needs to make shots, and he has a super high ceiling. I mean, dude, if he is the scoring that he had the game prior, I mean, look at the last few games peripherally. He's been a monster. When he's made shots, he's had ceilings. So that would probably be the only other guy that like I am confidently playing.
Is that because we're talking about Pritchard at shooting guard, or because you'd rather play
White
Pritchard?
Yeah, we'll just talk fast PP at shooting guard because he's I'll say it right away. He's the easiest Celtic to just.
I was going to say, I know he was the guy that we had talked about yesterday, just because from a price standpoint of their, I guess, new big 3, we get the Pritchard a little bit easier there. At the shooting guard position, there is Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, Cam the Man had brought up the horrific 3-point shooting out of Anthony Edwards here lately. I mean, 1 of 8, 1 of 7, 0 of 8, 1 of 7. You said what? That
this is not not
allowing threes, right?
No, this is not a spot to. They are the 5th best defense in field goal percentage against, and they allow the 6th fewest made threes per game.
And it probably has a lot to do with O'Neal and Brooks probably defensively on the perimeter. And Edwards is going to get a lot of Dillon Brooks tonight. So
yes, he's going to get a lot of Dillon Brooks. And like we overstate matchups sometimes. Like we talk about that all the time. Yep. But it does mean something when a team defense is that good, right? Like when they are just not allowing you to make threes, then like they're not allowing teams to make threes. We talked about it with the Celtics the other day, right? It's like team defenses, whether personnel is there or not. Boston didn't allow points in the paint. Nick Claxton had 2 points the other night or whatever it was.
1 of 9 shooting. So
it does matter what they are doing as a collective.
Sure. Mitchell 93 against Indiana.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, firm. Yes. There's worst team in the league in points in the paint, or second in points to the paint. Let me confirm. Worst. Yes. Worst team allowing points in the paint. Donovan Mitchell is really good at basketball. I don't know if you've heard.
Could be quite good, yeah.
Good to quite good, averaging career high, all that stuff. We've said it repeatedly. Yeah, like him a lot.
Okay. Mid-range here. Kobe White, 74. Ingram, 74. Powell, 73. Murphy, 72. Jaquez, $7,000. Jaime Jaquez, currently your highest rostered shooting guard. He does have the shooting guard small forward eligibility, so that's likely boosting his overall ownership there. But where are you looking to go among the 7K shooting guards?
So I don't know if you've noticed my Twitter, right? I've been tweeting like leaks each and every day the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of days ago, I tweeted a GIF of Benedict Mathurin.
Okay.
Yesterday, I tweeted a GIF of Ivica Zubats.
19 rebounds.
Today, I tweeted a GIF. Josh Richardson's in this GIF, but it wasn't about Josh Richardson. Okay. Shout out. It was about Jaime Jaquez Jr. I wish the field wasn't as smart as they are, but man, this spot does not get better, John. Doesn't get better. The Bulls are the worst rim defense in basketball. They allow the second most points in the paint. Jaime Jaquez is 16th in the entire NBA in drives per game. He drives 14 times per game. He's 8th in the entire league in touch time. And without Andrew Wiggins this year, 1.16 fantasy points per minute. I couldn't want to play more of Jaime Jaquez Jr. if I tried.
Okay.
There's no Wiggins. There's no Jovic. I am almost praying that he doesn't start.
Okay.
Because and I know he hasn't started.
I was going to say, starting would be something kind of new for him. So
I would love for him to come off the bench because it's not going to diminish the role. And I think it might lower the ownership if he's still off the bench.
You think ownership's here because people think he starts?
Yeah, because the starter and the probable backup is not like the other guy would. Yeah, like Jovic is probably the candidate to start. Like they could go Khalil Ware, but I think the way that the Bulls play, they might just want to use Khalil Ware off the bench. But if they start Khalil Ware, then everything. We'll talk about, but yeah, I almost want Jaquez to come off the bench. This is my guy tonight. Okay. Whether he starts or comes off the bench, I truthfully don't care. The rates without Wiggins are great. We know the assist rate. We know the rebound rate. He's top 3 in both those categories without Wiggins this year. So yeah, Jaquez is my guy in that range. I think Norman Powell looks super good as a contrarian play, if you want to get to Norm. I wrote him up as well. There's 250 implied points in this game. The Bulls are a bottom 10 defense. They play the 3rd fastest pace in the league. There's not a lot of teams that match Miami's pace. The Bulls are one of them. Without Wiggins this year, Norm has a 30% usage, 1.3 fantasy points per minute. With the fact that it's a cup game, I think we get a lot of minutes. Norm didn't close the first half last game, and they talked about it. He was playing really poorly, just like not shooting the ball either. And then he dominated the second half. I think
10 of 14.
Yeah, I think it was like all in the second half. I think he scored 20-something points after the break. I think that there's mid-30 ceiling in terms of minutes here. And like you think about the Heat, right? 122.9 implied points. Norm Powell, obviously their best scorer, right? That's not even a question.
Can't argue it this year, no.
25 points per game. He is getting 10% projection tonight. Like, I'm not saying fade Jaquez because I don't. That's not. I wouldn't. I'm playing Jaime Jaquez. But 10% Norm Powell, dude, that really makes you think. Like, Miami looks really good. I mean, there is a lot of different avenues tonight that we still haven't talked about, but a 10% Norm with mid-30s upside with the pace, the spot. Yeah. Sign me up for some of that at low ownership.
Okay. Pritchard, Mathurin, Keyshawn, George in your 6K range.
Yeah. I don't dislike any of them. I think all 3 of them are great. Pritchard, is the lowest owned of the three. It's funny, he's the lowest owned, and I understand the guys below him are like very good plays, but also Peyton Pritchard has a matchup against the 30th ranked defense, in a cup game. The blowout is a little bit of a factor here, but we have seen how the cup is handled in previous years by Joe Mazzulla, right? He ran up the score and was like, yo, sorry. It's just what it is. Like, this is part of the rules. So I think this is another ceiling minutes game for Peyton Pritchard because Boston does need to blow the doors off Brooklyn.
I think it's also important to note, as I said on the previous show, that Peyton Pritchard closes blowouts. He was on the floor for the final 7 minutes of their win, playing with Baylor Shireman, Sam Hauser, Jordan Walsh. Like he closed. Luka Garza and Peyton Pritchard. He was on the floor with them, doing all the damage, in that game. So even in blowouts, like Pritchard plays at the end of those games. So not even really concerned if they get a big lead, regardless of it being the cup or not. Like Peyton's there. So
Matherin is a lot more popular than he was the other day, and for good reason. It's a tougher spot, obviously. Yeah. Like Cleveland is much better everywhere. The one thing that they struggle with is the 3-point line, which, to Matherin's credit, shooting the leather off the ball from 3 this year, which, hasn't necessarily been like this consistent so far. But the usage had his lowest usage rate of the season last game, 23%. 24-12.
Yeah.
Pretty good. The minutes are obviously elite. 29%
good free throw shooter.
Yeah, great free throw shooter. That's the one thing. I actually noted that in the playbook. The Cavs allow the 10th most free throws per game. I was just interested to see how that played out. And yeah, that was actually the last part of my Matherin write-up. And then Keyshawn. Yeah, I don't love the ownership, truthfully, John. Like, he is getting a ton, and it's warranted. But the numbers are kind of undeniable. Like, baseline numbers, 22% usage, 1.1 fantasy points per minute. Without SAR, usage doesn't move, but 1.25 fantasy points per minute. And so, the role is great. He's acting as a primary / secondary playmaker for them. We talked about how efficient we looked up his potentials last night, right? It was like 7 of 8.
Yeah, I actually got him right here. His assist potentials, this is rebounds. His assist potentials, he 7 of 8 in the last game. So
yeah.
But then the 3 games prior were 12.
Yeah.
So I mean, pretty decent for his potential assists there. 8, 12, 12, 12, converting 7, 5, 9, and 6. So those are obviously there. Rebound chances for him, 15, 9, 14, 9 over the last 4 games. Obviously the last 3 were the big ceilings for him, 7, 6, and 7.
Wait, did you say 6, 7?
Jesus. You say that, but you don't know what that means. So you just...
Dude, my son came home from school and I asked him if anyone has said it in school, and he's like, yeah, they go 6, 7.
But nobody knows what it means. So anyways, they're all there. We did say on the show, like, oh, George is that great, like 5% dart. Now he's 28%.
No, he's super popular tonight.
So still probably a good spot, but we've talked about Toronto's defense being much improved, and they can shift a lot of like lengthy guys at him. Whether you think Ingram and Barrett and all those guys are good defenders or not, like they're good players.
Yes, good. It's a good team. Hey, they're spearheaded by Scotty Barnes. Like they're guarding.
Agreed. What do we do next? If Gillespie, Harder's here. Harder $5,800.
Yeah, it's no.
Russell, as you mentioned, is there. Yeah. Justin says Io. Okay, Christie, Reed Shepard. Like anything down here for you?
I think Io is fine. Mid-20s minutes is probably a ceiling if Kobe White plays. If Kobe White sits, then we definitely revisit that conversation.
Do we feel like Kobe White is in the legitimate sit category?
They have a back-to-back, so we just don't know. Okay. We don't know if he's sitting tonight or tomorrow. It's a cup game, so I
Alex Barr out.
Oh boy!
And they already ruled. We know Bagley was doubtful.
Oh boy.
So we
Vucevic.
Bagley out.
Okay. We're on
3K Vucevic and
Vucevic. Yeah, Vucevic. I was calling him Vucevic last night, and I was like mad at myself because I was like, that's not. So I went to it's a demonic term. Stop letting your son say it, bro. Okay. Well, I looked it up. It says something about not knowing there's supposed to be no meaning. I don't know. Yeah. We'll just flash him now. Get him off the screen. We'll go back. It's like whoa, what was that? What was that on the screen?
He's got the pronunciation as close as we were.
Vucevic. It's Vucevic.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Wizards play-by-play say it.
Okay. Well, anyways, get ready to learn Vucevic tonight here, folks. He's going to be 90% rostered. So
yeah, I might take the over. But I mean, we were just talking about we talked CJ.
Yeah,
it's a objectively better spot for everybody. Washington is one of the teams that is not eliminated with a loss. For somehow this is only their second game, so they're not. Yeah, Vucevic. Yes, Warren, that is correct. Vucevic. That's
get a little Riley tonight, maybe.
Could be. They could. I mean, Anthony Gill will not. We're not messing. It's Will Riley or Anthony Gill, right? Yeah. It's one of the.
We're not playing either of them. We're just
not playing them. But things get incredibly interesting. We talked McCollum. We talked Keyshawn. We're going to talk about the rest of the team. They're going to they started Vucevic the other day, played him in the second half when Bagley went down. They gave him 20 minutes. There's no reason to think he's not going to play pretty extended run here.
Got a little Will Riley out of 50 patch card.
Nice, dude.
Maybe tonight has 40 points. I could sell this thing.
One of their 3 first-round picks this year? Yeah. 2 first-round picks this year, him and Trey.
Will Riley gold player-worn patch, ladies and gentlemen.
That's good. That's good, dude. Yeah, I definitely bumped to Keyshawn. I would love to see the ownership, but it looks very good for him. The rest of shooting guard, John, I truthfully, this is not a position that I really care to talk about.
Yeah, so Jalen Tyson's got 22% right now. I have to imagine that doesn't hold, right?
Why did that happen? He's $3,100.
Yeah.
So they're gonna start. He might start. There's no Merrill.
No Merrill. Okay.
Mitchell. Yeah, they just said all the Anthony. We'll get to your question in a second, brother. We'll talk. I have one OKC.
The FanDuel floodgates, and now we're getting
Mitchell, Mobley, Hunter, Garland, Allen. No, he won't start. He'll come up, but he will have a sizable role. No Sam Merrill. We saw the role. I don't hate it. I just don't think you need to go there now unless you want to get to Jokic because you have the Vucevic back in your back.
I mean, you can probably get the Jokic anyways. You just throw him at 30 at your util or something like that.
But then it takes away one of the better center plays of the day that our boy IC3 already alluded to, someone that you touched on right on the top of the show.
Yeah.
Anthony, Chet Holmgren is my favorite play tonight for OKC, $7,400 on FanDuel. I love that price for him.
On Tyson comment just now, Coach Atkinson, Garland and Tyson will have minutes limited if they play tonight.
Okay, trending towards playing, but they will be limited if they play. Got it. Pretty much takes him out of the equation.
Yeah.
Even though he's very cheap and has been very good.
All right, small forward. Jaylen Brown, 9K, KD, Porter, your top 3 guys from a price standpoint. Jaquez has the carryover ownership, but it's all Miami. It's Pell Larson and Simone Fontecchio as your other 2 guys for value. RJ Barrett is sort of your next spend-up play at $6,900, and Washington just behind him.
Yeah, we'll start at the top with Brown and Porter. I think they're tournament plays. You can get to either of them. Jalen's usage rate has been incredible, insane. It's been near 40% nightly at this point. Obviously had that weird first half benching and then played a bunch of second half minutes last game. Porter, the only way Brooklyn's going to stay competitive in this game is if Michael Porter just makes shots. So you can obviously play them in tournaments. I don't have I've wrote them both up, but I would not play them over Jaime Jaquez for cheaper. And obviously this is a good value position, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
I think PJ is okay. I told you yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if PJ Washington had 45 fantasy points.
Well, if D'Angelo Russell sits out now too, it's only just probably helps him a little bit. Right?
Yeah, he doesn't get big rate bumps, but he's just not a big rate bump guy, right? He doesn't get massive rate increases. He's just he has the pop games. He's always had the big pop games in his bag. I don't hate him. Cooper Flag rates look better than PJ. I would probably go to Cooper Flag over PJ Washington if D'Lo sat, but I'm not entirely interested in either. RJ, I think of the big four Toronto guys is third. I guess I don't want to even. I guess out of their starting five, he's fourth for me.
Okay.
In terms of priority. We haven't talked about one or two yet.
Sure.
We talked about three quickly. So RJ's fine if you get there, but I do think this is a very good position of value. I think the Heat are interesting, right? Because I think there's a lot of different directions they could go. Pelle Larsson is already starting. He doesn't have a very good ceiling.
So our usage rates are probably the same.
It is without Wiggins, it's 19%, which was higher than I thought it would be.
Sure.
0.84 fantasy points per minute. The role is probably fine. I don't think you can play him and Fontecchio together because I think one of them, let's say for the argument, Fontecchio starts. One of them's losing time to Jaquez regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know it's not Bam, we know it's not Davion, we know it's not Norm. So I think you kind of have to take a stand on whether it's Simone or Pelle Larsson.
Mm-hmm.
Larsson's already in the starting lineup. We don't know if Simone is or not, but he's a good dude. He's a 1 fantasy point per minute player this year without Andrew Wiggins. 1. The role should already be increased. It has already been increased without Nikola Jovic the last couple games. So I think I lean Fontecchio over Pelle Larsson, even if he's not starting. But it's, again, I wouldn't play them together. And I would only play, I would probably play 3 Heat max.
Okay.
But if the 3 Heat you land on are Jaquez, Larsson, and Fontecchio, and Khalil Ware's starting, then you got to readjust your construction because there's just no way you're getting the minutes that you need out of those 3 players. So it does definitely depend on the starting lineup. I think Fontecchio is my preferred option just because he's the better fantasy player.
Sure.
Obviously, Pelle Larsson could have the leg up in terms of lineups because he's starting. But I do lean Fontecchio of this lower of the value tier.
Cool. I will say, Greg, please gamble responsibly.
So big.
We did go 4 for 4 last
I was going to say,
night,
you're setting a high bar because you nailed it yesterday.
We did go 4. And honestly, we had it the whole way. It wasn't really that close. But we did go 4 for 4 last night. 4 picks are out there tonight over at Fantasyland. You can get them over in the Fantasyland bet tracker. If you guys get that as well. But yeah, we're looking to go 4 for 4. I've kind of given a couple of plays out already. We're going Giddey over to the 9.5 assists. We got Pirtle over the 10.5 rebounds, which he's never done. Not once this season has he had 11 rebounds. Maybe today's the day. Two other plays are available for you guys to check out there as well.
Love that. There's a good one.
Little teaser. Power forward.
Wait.
Power forward.
I just want to throw Koulibaly's name out there. The role hasn't been great. He is operating a lot as the primary playmaker. He is over 0.9 fantasy points per minute without Alex Sarr this year. So I don't hate Koulibaly. I know more Washington is not better. Like the more Washington, the worse for sure. But 4,900 for Bilal Koulibaly is pretty cheap.
All right. Power forward, Siakam 91, Randall 86, Scotty B at $8,500, and Zion also at 85.
Yeah. Siakam, obviously, you know what he is, like gonna have a ceiling eventually. I want to hone in on Randall and Barnes. I think those two are my favorite spend ups at power forward. Yeah. Current leader in the clubhouse, John, for fantasy points per minute on the Minnesota Timberwolves is Julius Randle. Julius Randle. Ding, ding, ding. Hard. It was very hard to answer there. Yes. Julius Randle over 1.4 fantasy points per minute. You have to look hard to find a bad Julius Randle game when it's competitive. In all competitive games. No. Competitive. You have to. This game is slated to be that. And again, Phoenix is not allowing a lot of threes. We know where Dylan Brooks is going to spend most of his time. The offense has been operating a lot through this man right here. Love Julius Randle, 28.5% usage, over 1.4 fantasy points per minute. Anthony said it beginning of the show. Anthony said belt to ass Scotty Barnes to the Wizards. That's what his comment is. And I agree on the Scotty Barnes front today. It's hard to predict Toronto, right? Like it just is. Like they are. Yeah. It's a very hard thing to predict. We talked about Washington, third most points in the paint, fourth most free throws per game. Scotty's obviously not a big free throw taker, but he also averages over 6 paint touches per game. That is literally defined as when a pass is entered to you and you are in the paint, which is a lot. They're 27th in rebounding. They're 29th in defensive rating. There's a lot to like, dude, when a team has a pace-up spot against a bad defense that allows a lot of points in the paint to a guy that gets all of his points in the paint and at the rim and is always receiving touches in the paint. Mm-hmm. Very good rebounder at his position. We know he's a great secondary playmaker, sometimes primary which could be the case with quickly spotting up for a lot of threes tonight, right?
Sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if Scotty Barnes has 60 plus fantasy points tonight. And like he's getting like a decent amount of ownership. Him and Randall are getting similar ownership. Mm-hmm. I think that those two are leaps and bounds better than Evan Mobley tonight. Okay. And everyone's playing Evan Mobley. And I don't hate Evan Mobley. The price tag is really good for Evan Mobley.
I think that's that. And obviously we've talked extensively about the Pacers front court. Now it does obviously have Siakam in that front court, but the rest of it leaves a lot to be desired. And if there's no Jared Allen tonight.
No, he's expected to play.
Okay.
Their starting five is expected to be intact tonight.
Okay.
And you look at the rates with, and I wrote them up in the playbook, but I even wrote the cautious tail, over 2% usage rate loss with Darius Garland on the floor, 1.1 fantasy points per minute. I'm not saying that's bad, but there's a lot to be we want more for a guy that we're playing at 8K, than a 20% usage rate and 1.1 fantasy points per minute, especially when that player, there's not a wide gap in ownership versus two guys that I view as much better fantasy players tonight. He's 2x both those guys in terms of ownership, right?
Yeah, he's 25% right now. Barnes and Randall are 13 and 12. So
there's like that gap should be way different. And it's just solely based on the price. Like the matchup is obviously elite. I'm not saying it's not. And could I see Mobley dominating Indiana? Of course. Indiana's no interior presence at all. But he just hasn't been that guy consistently offensively. There's been a lot more threes. There's been a lot more passive offensive nights. If you get to Mobley, sure. I just think in tournaments, especially, I think Randall and Barnes are better in tournaments.
Our currently highest projected rostered power forward tonight is none other than Derek Queen.
Dude. Some good numbers with Zion on the floor.
Filling out the stat sheet nicely.
Yeah. And after we talk Queen, let's get to some questions and some we'll talk a little more FanDuel as well.
Yeah, we don't need to dive too much into center since Vucevic now currently at 65%.
Yeah, and he should be. I mean, Vucevic, you were right.
Vucevic. Okay, I got it right.
You were right. So Derek Queen, okay, was second on touch time, and he was second in total touches last game, both higher than Zion in this game. And now I understand that like Zion was like limited. Derek Queen only played 30 minutes. It wasn't like Derek Queen played 36 minutes. They basically had the same role. Mm-hmm. With Zion this year, John, 57 minutes, 23% usage, almost 1.2 fantasy points per minute for Derek Queen. It doesn't hurt Derek Queen that Zion Williamson is playing alongside of him, because Derek Queen, I'm telling you right now, as good as he is, like Trey Murphy and Zion are still at the top of team scouting reports. Like those are still the two guys that like are trying to have the water shut off, right? Like Derek Queen is still a rookie in this league.
Yeah.
It's a great spot for interior scoring. We didn't talk Zion. I think this is a really good spot for both Pelicans front court members. Dallas 26th, the fifth most points allowed in the paint this year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I understand the ownership's there, and like he did a lot of stuff in the fourth quarter. We've said that about Derek Queen every slate. Like he is he just did what in 5 minutes? Mm-hmm. He just had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 7 points in what? In the first 2 minutes of his third quarter shift. Like he turns it on fast. He's a great play despite the ownership. I have no objection going there.
Yeah. And again, it's just how quickly he can put numbers up. We think he's, kind of a snowflake in our lineup. Then all of a sudden he's got 40 fantasy points. Like what happened here? So anything else then? I mean, again, the rest of the position, there's not a lot of ownership on it.
Chris Middleton would be the only other name that I would, again, I don't want to keep harping on Washington because I don't think it needs harping, but he's been fine. Like the role's been fine. The usage and stuff is not great, but he's playing. We know he's like a skilled scorer. But yeah, that's it at power forward.
We'll go to center and then we'll answer these questions now for everybody. Again, as of right now, after that news, Vucevic is currently 65% rostered. Feels like the pretty obvious plug and play. So
yes.
A lot of the questions we're getting are around obviously the FanDuel slate, and then it is the Giddey or Mitchell question from Greg here.
I'd lean Josh Giddey.
Lean Giddey there, and then what are we doing with the FanDuel stuff? Okay,
these are the plays that I have written down tonight. Denny Avdia. Yes, we have had a lot of Denny. I've seen like some Denny stuff. We'll go. Prioritization of Warriors is Steph Curry. Great play on FanDuel. Without Jonathan Kuminga, 36% usage, 1.6 fantasy points per minute, huge pace up spot. And then Butler's second. I like Curry and Butler from
Yeah.
Those. And then it's Avdia, it's Klingon, and it's Jeremy Grant. Those are the 3 guys for me from Portland. You can sprinkle in Caleb Love as we talked about on the show, but yes, DePrince, Denny Avdia is as good as it gets as long as that game stays competitive, which again, Portland, feisty team. 1.6 fantasy points. And then the other guy I'd mentioned on FanDuel that I like is Chet Holmgren. FanDuel only plays. I think there's like 40, 50 fantasy point upside for Chet, who's $7,400.
I will also stress to everybody that we do a full playbook.
Yes.
That breaks down the DraftKings and FanDuel slates. And right now, for 50% off, you can try us out for the first month. It's $19.99 for the first month. FantasyFarm.com/YouTube. Promo code YT50 will autofill for you. You just have to apply it. It's not just NBA content that's included. It's all of our sports, NBA, NFL, MMA, PGA, NASCAR, MLB, NHL, whatever we do on site that is behind the all-pro paywall, you get included here for 50% off. That's all of our DFS, all of our best bets, all of our seasonal fantasy content, access to our premium Discord channel there as well. So if you want to try us out for $20 in, last night I went 4 for 4 with my NBA picks. If you played them underdog or played it on Prize Picks, or if you just bet them outright, more than paid for the first month that we're discounting 50% for all of you. So check it out now. $19.99 for that first month. FantasyTime.com/YouTube. Promo code YT50. I know a lot of you are in here every day checking out our free content. And certainly, listen, we appreciate the free support. Absolutely don't have to become a member, but a lot of these questions that you guys are asking, we break down in depth. I know a lot of you guys in the chat are also all pro members. You can vouch for the content that we put out each and every day. We put a lot of work into it, and we put out some winning plays for all of you to be successful in DFS, betting, seasonal, however you decide to absorb the content that we go there. So, yeah, just throwing that out there. If you feel so inclined to try us out, now is honestly the best time to do so. All right, going to center. Knowing where the field is, we'll talk some other plays, right?
Yeah.
Jokic is 13-2.
Yes.
Nobody was playing him before. No one's still really playing him now, but it has ticked up a little bit. When we started the show, it was around 5%. It's now up to 7% because when there's a $3,200 starting center, people are going to have a lot more money to figure out what to do, and some of it when allocated to Nikola Jokic there. Derek Queen has dual positional eligibility. He's around 30%. Jakob Poeltl is the other guy that we have mentioned on the show. It's been mentioned in the chat. He's someone that we're high on. He's only $5,600. Is he your top center per dollar today? Not counting Vucevic now.
Yeah.
On the team.
Yeah, he is. Dude, it's just an elite role. It's just it's not even an elite role. It's an elite spot. I mentioned in the Scotty talk how much the Washington Wizards give up in the paint. It's not going to get better with Vucevic here. Fourth most points in the paint, and they're 29th in rebounding, as you have alluded to a couple times. Poeltl's minutes are trending up. There's no Colin Murray-Boyles tonight. He averages, Jakob Poeltl, the 11th most paint touches in the NBA this year. There's just going to be so many free dunks for him tonight and so many just free everything at the rim without Alex Sarr. Like, it's just hard to imagine his price is below $6,000 moving forward, right? Mm-hmm. And that's really what it comes down to. The production, the minutes, everything. It's a ceiling raiser. And that's kind of why, like, I love Jokic always. And, like, there's 40-minute upside. Şengün has 40-minute upside. I think Bam looks amazing tonight in this spot without Andrew Wiggins. Like, I love those plays. It's just hard to not play Jakob Poeltl and Vucevic tonight in a combined scenario because they're so vastly underpriced, and it helps you in the like fair and balanced world, right? Like that's really what it is tonight. It's a fair and balanced world, and we're just living in it.
I agree. So outside of Poeltl, you mentioned some of these top guys already. Is there like another center that you would look to play? If they start Khalil Ware next to Bam, would you have interest at 61?
I feel like Khalil Ware is the worst case scenario for everyone.
Starting?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. Because then you don't have the Fontecchio start. And now you're like, he's fighting for minutes. Obviously he takes away from Bam because he had, you messaged me, 23 rebound opportunities.
23 in 19 minutes.
Yeah, in 19 minutes. So obviously that takes away from everybody, right? Yep. I feel like he's worst case scenario. Now, he's the one that has started before, right?
Yep.
Like he is the one this year that has started games. So I guess we will see. I am okay with it. He is obviously a super high fantasy point per minute player in a really good spot. So I have no real objection. Spoelstra is always less inclined to extend him when Bam is available. That would be my one concern.
Okay. We've had a couple of Mamu comments. I think both from Warren.
It's always Warren, dude. Warren is always team Mamu with you. You and Warren play more Mamu than anyone.
I do. I mean, I'd be fine again going back to the well, but I understand that the last 2 games he's only played 15 minutes. So
he's a very good fantasy point per minute player. If he gets you 19 minutes tonight, 25 fantasy points is well within range. That's possible.
But like, why do you go here when you're now doubling up on min price centers?
Yeah. But then where are you even spending your money? Jokic is the only player over $10,000 tonight, and you can't play him.
No.
Yeah, Vukcevic is easiest click you'll ever click in your whole clicking life here.
It doesn't even have to work for it to work.
No, because he's going to start.
Well, I'm just saying because he's $3,200. He just has to kind of breathe out there to get 15 fantasy points.
And he's not a just breathe guy. He is a super
this
high.
Isn't Tony Snell, you know?
No, he is like activity from the moment. And I told you he's Cornet contesting now, which hopefully keeps him out of some foul trouble too.
All right, let's do a little lineup build here for everybody. Justin says he likes Donnie Mitch.
Yeah, love Donovan Mitchell. Love
Donovan. Warren asked about Najee.
The numbers look fine. He's like a 0.9 fantasy point per minute player without Davis and Russell this year. Okay. It's Cooper. It's Williams for me would probably be the 2 guys that I'd prioritize. PJ is fine.
Okay. Tamani Kamara, FanDuel.
Tumani Kamara is okay. He's like a 0.7 fantasy point per minute guy without Shaden and Drew this year. It plays a bunch of minutes. That could be your saving grace, right? You just play a guy who plays a bunch of minutes.
Yeah. Where are we? I got Jaquez and Vucevic in the lineup. Hurdle.
Yeah, the one problem, the double center route tonight is you're locking in your util pretty early.
Yeah.
That's the part that is painful.
Are you Derek Queen? I mean, what is our spend up then? Obviously it's now Giddy down.
Yeah, you can't play centers.
Scotty Barnes is it fair 85? Or Mitchell? We got a lot of,
Yeah, dude.
Give me the play, Grande, that you want to put into the lineup, so we can make this lineup here.
The play that I want you to play. I want you to play
Randall.
Yeah,
we talked a lot of Randall there. 67.
The only problem with Randall is it takes us out of. Yeah, it's fine. Do that.
Well, what was the loan problem?
No, you don't. You move Jaquez in the scenario that I'm talking about to shooting guard, and it makes things easier.
Okay, well, who do you
then you have a value at small forward. You'd play Simone,
like Larson
or Larson. I lean Simone, but yeah, Simone or Larson.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll pull the full lineup in the Discord. We'll Giddy feast tonight. Well, if you catch the beginning of the show, don't miss 22. We go in depth on the Giddy. So just rewind and catch the opening of the show where we talk about Josh Giddey. Hint though, yes, We will. It is Friday, so we won't be back till Sunday. We appreciate the support each and every day from all of you. Go crush Emirates Cup Friday, everybody. We'll catch you later.